and commercializing them until their entire original meaning is lost. So I'm talking about Easter. You've got all these bunnies and these eggs and these feasts, and then the Christians completely spoil it with Jesus. Because Easter is sacred. It's to celebrate the fertility goddess Easter, and it's not about fish sandwich specials and palm fronds. Okay, it's an important religious holiday. Seriously, it's a fertility festival. Who takes a holiday that's about life and makes it about some guy dying? That's terrible. And then to make it all worse, they took out all the orgies, like chocolate. You thought that chocolate was the right decision to replace the orgies with? I mean, come on, that was really, and sorry, I'm kind of drunk right now. But yeah, do you have any idea how many of the holidays used to be about sex? All of them. All of them were about sex. This is why nobody likes Christians, because they take systems that are awesome and then they make them really stupid instead. Okay? We have plenty of drinking holidays, and we have present holidays and no mail delivery holidays, but the closest thing we have to a sex holiday is Valentine's Day, and that's only because of the association of sex with love. Yeah, and sex is getting fucked over. I think that we should go back to celebrating the old way. We should have a feast and get drunk on wine and weave a headband out of flowers. Way cooler than ones made out of thorns, by the way. Have dances out in the woods, and then just end it all with orgies. If you're going to eat chocolate for Easter, what I'm trying to say is you should just first melt it and then drizzle it all over somebody's naked body. Because that's the way that the holiday was intended to be celebrated. Happy Easter. So Jesus and I were walking through a bunch of sand, and we were looking at footprints, and I was like, so why are there two sets? And he's like, well, one of them is me walking next to you. So then I said, okay, well, how about right here at my hardest times? Why is there's only one set? Why'd you abandon me? And he said, no, that was when I carried you. And I said, well, shit, Jesus, maybe if you carried my drugs instead, I wouldn't have had hard times in the first place. Maybe you should get your shit together, and then you'd be a little bit better of a savior. I was partying with a bunch of people this weekend, having drunken conversations, and I was talking about how I think that immortality is probably achievable within our lifetimes. If we got 3D printers good enough and we figured out the human body good enough, we could totally just clone ourselves with one. 3 years ago, I'd never even heard of a 3D printer, and now they're printing off hearts made of actual flesh for heart transplants. All of our memories and all of our personality and everything is really just electrical impulses in our brain and chemicals. So really, if we could figure it out and scan it, we could just make another us. Theoretically, and you wouldn't even be able to tell if you talked to it who was the original and who was the clone. And so if we could read the information, then we could edit it, and we could just make ourselves 20 years younger and just blip out the original, and you could be functionally immortal. And so I was telling this guy about this, and he got so pissed off at me that he stormed out of the room, and he said that he refused to continue the conversation unless I could define consciousness and define death. And he said that he had a personal relationship with God and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, so he has some religious notion about souls, and that's why he's not on board with this. And then I was thinking, the entire goal of Christianity is to become immortal. If everlasting life is what he's looking for, and now I'm telling him that he can have it, and suddenly he hates it and he's afraid of it. I just really don't understand at all what his problem was with it. I think that what really convinced me that the Bible isn't true is the death of Billy Mays, because that's all that he would have needed to convince me that Christianity was true. I think we all know he went to heaven. He was a Republican. So if God wants people to go to heaven, he should make an infomercial now. It should be like, hey, Billy Mays here for heaven. I would become a Christian, but that hasn't happened. So I rest my case. My name's Gabe Rudolph. Thank you.